Good morning, guys. It is bright and sunny today outside while I'm recording this. Sun's shining in on my face through the window. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Whoops, let's go back one. And we're going to continue reviewing in social studies. So yesterday we looked at the 13 colonies and New England colonies, middle colonies, and southern colonies. Once those colonies were established, those were British colonies. Those were the country, we call it England, but Great Britain were the one who established the 13 colonies. Now, there were other countries who were also wanting the land in what's now the United States. Spain wanted to claim some of the land and did claim some of the land. France wanted to claim some of the land. As a matter of fact, you have the 13 colonies kind of on the Atlantic coast of the United States, but you have France who claim all of the land around the Mississippi River and the Gulf port of New Orleans. And so you've got the French and the British, and they both like this area in the middle between the land they claim. There's a lot of Indians there, and they're trading with the Indians, and they get in a war over that land because they both want to control that land. That war was the first one we talked about this year. It was the French and Indian War. Do you remember talking about that? In the French and Indian War, you had England versus France, but it's called the French and Indian War because most of the Indians helped France. Why did they help France? Well, it was because France was friendly with the Indians. They didn't try to take a whole bunch of their land, but England, Britain had taken already a whole bunch of the Indians' land and killed many tribes and had a lot of fighting with them. So the Indians didn't really like the British, but they helped the French. So it's called the French and Indian War because the colonists had to fight against the French and the Indians. Now, during the French and Indian War, the first time Benjamin Franklin put in his newspaper a little cartoon of a snake. Do you remember that? The Join or Die cartoon. So today what we're reviewing is this little political cartoon, Join or Die, and the Albany Plan of Union. The Albany Plan of Union was a plan that Benjamin Franklin came up with. We're about to read about it, that the 13 colonies would unite and work together to help defeat the French in the French and Indian War. And then later on, he put the Join or Die cartoon in the newspaper again to try to get the 13 colonies to join together to fight against King George III in the Revolutionary War. So that cartoon was used twice in our country's history in two different wars. So that's why it's very important. So today you're going to be looking at, you're going to have a little video to watch, but also we're going to look through these slides real quick. So let me go back to present mode. And here is that cartoon we're talking about. Let me get myself out of the way. So this is what Benjamin Franklin drew. And this is the political cartoon that was in his newspaper and newspapers all over the country. And it said, Join or Die. Now take a close look at it. It's a snake. But it's a snake cut into lots of pieces. And these pieces represent the 13 colonies, most of the 13 colonies. So you've got NE, that stands for the New England colonies, like we read about yesterday. Then you've got these middle colonies, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, got some southern colonies, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. And if you were to put it on its side and look at the 13 colonies, you can see that it kind of is in the same shape as the 13 colonies. You got the New England colonies, and then over here's New York, and I keep clicking the button. Here's over New York and New Jersey, and then Pennsylvania, and then Maryland and Virginia, North Carolina and South Carolina. So the land kind of, I guess, maybe is the reason it made Benjamin Franklin think of his snake. But they're also separated. They're not really working together to do anything. The 13 colonies are not. So Benjamin Franklin says, you need to join up, and we're going to be much stronger if we work together. So I'm going to read to you some facts about the 13 colonies and this Join or Die cartoon. Then you'll have about 10 questions to answer about this cartoon, okay? And all of the answers are on the next few slides. So let's read some things. So the first thing you need to know is that the pieces of the snake in that picture, they represent most of the 13 colonies. There are 8 pieces to this snake instead of 13 because all of New England, all of the colonies of New England, they're just in one section, the head of the snake. They all are represented in one piece of the snake. And there's two colonies that are missing in it. There's Delaware and Georgia. Delaware and Georgia are both colonies that are missing from the snake. And why is that? Well, Delaware had the same government as Pennsylvania. William Penn started Pennsylvania and Delaware, and they were all kind of working together as one colony. So Delaware was not a separate piece of the snake. Georgia was brand new. It wasn't really considered a whole colony yet. It was just a little area. Remember I said other countries wanted part of the land. The Spanish were down in Florida. Right above Florida was Georgia. So it was kind of just started to protect the New England colonies from Spain, to make sure Spain didn't come. So Georgia was not a complete colony yet. It was just a newly settled frontier at the time of the cartoon. And New England is the head of the snake because of the geographic position of the colonies along the Atlantic coast. We looked at it where it was turned on its side, and New England would be up at the top. Okay, so on a map, New England is located north. We know that. Now, this snake was all part of Benjamin Franklin's Albany Plan of Union. And what is the Albany Plan of Union? It was that plan proposed by Benjamin Franklin to unite the 13 colonies to win the French and Indian War, and later on the Revolutionary War. So, if you walk outside and you see a snake slithering around, I don't know about you, but I'm going to run away, right? I'm not going to get near that thing. But if you walk outside, it'd be gross, and you saw a snake cut into pieces, I'm not going to be so scared of that because it's not going to move and bite me because it's all cut into pieces. And Benjamin Franklin saying, if we're 13 separate colonies not working together, split into pieces, we can't do very much. But if we unite, then we can be powerful. So how did Benjamin Franklin's Albany Plan of Union support the cartoon, Join or Die? He wanted to unite the colonies like putting the pieces of a snake back together. It shows the pieces of the snake separated and it will die, but joined together it will be strong. There was a superstition held back then that a snake cut into pieces could come back to life if you put it back together before sunset. Separated, they're weak, but united, they are powerful. All right, so there's some slides to just teach you a little bit more. You do have that video that started to play a minute ago about the Join or Die political cartoon. You have 10 questions. I would keep these slides open because I can't put all these slides on your questions today like I did the pictures yesterday of the text. So keep these slides open so that you can easily find the answer to your 10 questions that will be on your assignment today. All right, hope you remember more about this political cartoon, Join or Die. I'm sure you'll see it again in 5th grade. All right, we will talk to you later and go answer your questions now.